Okay, second semi-final is going to be with Team Wa, very likely against the Mafia. They're still playing this one out, but we currently have the first semi-final of the tournament here on our hands, and it is Chili Mountain with a newly reformed lineup going up against the Hardos, and that's the real highlight of the day. So Chili Mountain is now playing with Make, with Wooby, Menes, Mexi, and Breeze. Did somebody say Fnatic here? Personally, I don't really know if Mene is supposed to be like the stable fifth player of the team or if it is Backhult, because both are listed in the lineup of the team. So I guess we're going to eventually see both of them play here, that they're going to sub in and out. But it's obviously insane to have Wooby, Smexy, and Breeze playing here together with Mene and Make. It's just like an absolute dream. But they are under a bit of pressure because this is already the 9th qualifier for the main event, for the playoffs, and we only have 10 qualifiers in total. So if you really want to make it into the top 8 of the leaderboard, you have to bring it. You have to really bring it. And so far Chili Mountain made it into the semi-final, which is fantastic for them. The question is, of course, can they take down the Hardos? Because at the end of the day, they need to really perform well. If they take 3rd place twice, if they take 2nd place twice, maybe if they win a tournament, then their chances of making it into the top 8 are very, very good. But it is going to be tough, especially up against teams like the Hardos here that have done such an amazing job throughout all of the tournaments. Very quick draft here, by the way, and also interesting to see that Zagara as a first pick comes through, meaning Chili Mountain let it go on Sky Temple, but they insta-pick Brightwing and Unubarak. So they already from the beginning apparently expected that Zagara would be taken if they don't ban it, for good reason of course. But they also didn't mind apparently, so we'll see what they can do here. The one thing that I want to point out as we're heading into the game, I mentioned it in some of the previous matches already, is that Chili Mountain also told me that it's going to be a bit tough for them in the tournament because they haven't played for a while. A lot of the guys, Maka for example, were on vacation for several weeks and they didn't have an opportunity to play a whole lot or train a whole lot as a unit. But of course these guys have a lot of experience, not only playing Heroes of the Storm, but playing with each other, and they are pretty strong. Can they take down the Hardos on the other hand? That's a very, very different question, because the Hardos have played, I think, every single tournament with the exception of one. So they are practicing over and over again, and these boys are killing it. And boy, that's killing it too. Whew. Talking about sound effects over here. Alright, that one hit hard just now. But yeah, either way, as we're heading into the second part of the draft, let me quickly see what we're going to get here, because we have some of the heroes banned out that Chili Mountain used in the previous matches. Falstad being the most important one. And Falstad obviously has a couple of roles. Now, first of all, Mene played a lot of Falstad, but also here on Sky Temple, where Falstad with a global presence can really influence the way that the game is played. And since the Hardos picked Dehaka for themselves, they are currently the ones that are rocking a global. ETC, currently played by Wooby, on the other hand, has a pseudo-global after level 10 where you can head into the stage dive. And that really helps. So they're playing this ETC side lane that you've seen during the HGC a lot, because ETC offers you that flexibility with stage dive that you can play him as a pseudo-global that helps you on a map like Sky Temple. Now, if they feel that the flow of the game demands that they're going into a mosh pit instead, they can still do that. But super interesting now how they are playing this, because you don't see that a whole lot these days. We get Jojo and we get Imperius on the other side, so a triple frontline already, with Zagara as the only range damage dealer. But this is a pretty sick setup. For the first map in the best of 3 series, and we're already having things like an Unubarak ETC, Make playing Tychus, and now Tracer! Ooh, this is gonna be good. Guys, this is going to be a blast no matter what. Game number 1 in the best of 3 semi-final here at the 9th qualification tournament for the X-Cup Summer. Chili Mountain against the Hardos. Game number 1. It is time to party as we head into the semi-final series between Chili Mountain and the Hardos. Off we go on the left side, the Hardos with Hazorps. On Zagara, we currently get Bad Benny on Johanna, Yasu on Uther, Copenhagen on Dehaka, and Nick is playing Imperius. On the right side of the map, the challengers. Mako and Tracer, the first time that they're playing in the X-Cup Summer Qualifiers. We have Whoopi on ETC on the side lane, Mena on Tychus, Smexy on Brightwing, and Breeze is playing a Nubarak. Real interesting what we're seeing from the red team now. First of all, Tracer, of course, going up against a fair amount of stuns here, if you think about it. We have stuns on nearly every single hero on the other side, and that can be quite dangerous. At the same time, the ETC side laner is something that is not all that common these days. And there it is, the bait at the bottom against Macke. Baited and nearly taken out. That was pretty awesome. Yasuo was hiding in the bush. You might have caught it on the minimap. Hazops baiting with Zagara. Macke sees potential damage against the ranged damage dealer, moves in, and Yasuo steps out for the stun, and they nearly get the kill. But the save was there. Brightwing porting in. There's a lot of creep spread now, of course, also in play, so the Hardos have decent vision at the bot lane. With the level 1 talents, as usual, we're getting the Volatile Acid over here. We also have the Zealous Glare. That's a talent for Smexy, by the way. If I've ever seen a talent that would describe Smexy, then that's probably it. On the level 1, the Guitar Hero for ETC. He, of course, needs a little bit of sustain on the side lane. Yeah, in case if you're asking why exactly ETC, I explained the draft a little bit, but let's go over this again. Now, ETC offers a lot of things on the side lane. First of all, if you use the right talents, you have some wave clear. You won't be able to go up against a hero that can burn waves away nearly instantly. You don't quite have that clear speed, but you have enough to hold your own. And during the team fight, with a power slide, of course, you can do a lot. You also can still create some space, and we'll try to do that. But the most important part is that against someone like Dehaka, you have now the option to go into the stage dive to have a pseudo global. And they are really targeted at Hazu here. Macke, yeah, there's a kill. Macke gets stunned and taken down. That could have been a kill maybe against Zagara, but it was just too well coordinated by the Hardos, and they are pushing this already very aggressively at the bottom of the map. With Siege Giant support, they set Zagara up, and she is just burning through that wall. So now we have the tower destroyed, the side wall is down, the gate has been eliminated, and this is not a good opening for Chili Mountain. Yeah, the caveat for them is and always was that they said, guys, we don't have the practice right now. We're going to do our best. But from the beginning, it was pretty clear that going up against teams like Team Wah or the Hardos would be a bit difficult. Maybe not impossible, but definitely something where they're going to struggle way more than against others. Now, Whoopi up at the top is waiting for his cooldown, is trying to slide out, and also providing a bit of time for Brightwing to come in. There's the double stun. The amount of CC is insane. I mean, honestly, the amount of CC is pretty crazy, but that was a fantastic turnaround by Whoopi. And yeah, they baited this in hard, and then they get the kill on the Haka, so that's a kill for a kill. They are still under pressure, but they've taken a slight lead in experience. Now it's all about the control on the temples, but Zagara is at the bot lane doing her thing, and Tychus is now going to attempt to stop her here. So there's that. We already have the attack against Nick, and off we go. Bottom of the map, Hazu, yeah, is about to make it out here. Is getting attacked, but is not gonna die. Now, this is still quite a lot of damage, especially as the grenade come in and takes him down. And, well, with the level 4 talents, we also get some aggressive diving with Underking on level 4. Obvious target is Zagara. We've seen it in some of the previous fights, but the more of these talents Nubarak is getting in, the more aggressive they can make the play. Talking about aggressive, but Benny sticking it out on that temple for a long time. Subterranean shield is ready, so it's a full-on engage setup for Nubarak. And they're trying to engage into the mid lane. A full 4-man for the Hardos is trying to defend here. Only the Haka is at the top and is dealing with ETC, who's still holding on to the temple for as long as possible. And since Tracer is now joining it, that might be not the kill, but they're gonna get the shots fired. Now, down here, the first time that Zagara dies, they followed her a lot. And as the dust settles on the altars, we might see another kill because Whoopi is now getting attacked by 3 and he has just no escape path left to him. Now, he can run a bit, but he's not going to be able to escape from them. And that's 2 kills to 2 now. Slight lead in experience for Chili Mountain. And a very nice start for this first game. There's a lot of structural damage that is done, and as we've gone over in the past, it is incredibly important that you do structural damage to your opponent whenever the objective, outside of the objective even more so, simply so that you can later on in the game decide the match or the map in your favor by simply locking in the temples. So both of them are super eager to try and take a few more of these towers and gates down. But it's fairly even. For now, the Hardos have maybe an advantage in structures, but it's not that much. And since the experience is evenly divided between the two, that's another one as well. So for now, it is an even game. Fairly. But we'll see. Because that can flip quickly. The bot lane is the one that is probably the biggest worry for Chili Mountain now, because the next objective spawns at the bottom of the map. And you are going to find yourself in a spot where it's really, really tricky to fight for that if you don't have your fountain anymore. And the fountain here is completely exposed. The entire gate is down. It's one of the reasons why now trying to take the siege giants down this quickly. But there it is. Level 10, and as expected, stage dive for ETC. The pseudo-global, the same play, the same kind of play that we've seen in the times of HGC time and time again. Back then, it was an ETC first pick that we saw from a lot of the top teams, because that would allow them to play ETC either in the side lane or as a main tank, depending on the lineup that the opponent was drafting, and whether or not they needed some global control of the map or not. And ETC now has that global control. Once that the Haka is making his move down to the bottom of the map, ETC can follow that up and can jump in too. And they're going to try likely to jump into the back line and put Harzobs under even more pressure. And there's already some stun, and there it is! There it is, the immediate jump, but the more prevents the slide. Not that it matters, because the kill is there thanks to Tychus. And of course, the main tank in Uberak. Nice coordinated aggression against Zagara that leads to kill number 3 for Chili Mountain. Odin also popped, and they hold the control over the bottom temple right now. Very, very nicely done. Great play from them. An attempt, of course, by Copenhagen to turn it around with a good drag, but he can't connect it. And the shots are being fired, and there's just no way without the only range damage dealer for the blue team to make a serious attempt to go for the team fight here. It's just not happening. If they got the lucky tongue connect, then maybe they can get a quick kill and fight a 4 versus 4, but more than that is just not possible. And here's another quick look on how exactly that came to pass. So, as you can see, Zagara gets attacked, the stage dive follows after Tracer makes the engage, the Maw nearly prevents it, and then it is Anubarak and Tychus that come through with the kill. So, well done, and that is the lead for Chili Mountain. 3 kills to 2, slightly had experience. And with that, we have now, of course, camps taken again. The boss is currently being sniffed out by the teams. They're easily keeping their eye on that. And especially with the creep tumors everywhere, they're not going to have any problems. But yeah, Breeze is just double checking. Is just saying hello. And should probably not check that bush too hard, because, yeah, Bad Betty with the Blessed Shield. Now, they have an insane amount of CC. I talked already earlier a bit about how much they have. But if you think about it, ooh, Beast Step, baby. If you think about it a little bit, it's not only the Blessed Shield, but we have the Divine Storm, we have the Haka with his tongue, the Isolation, Imperious with the stun, and on top of that, also the Wrath of Ingeris. There's just way too much that they can stack if they get the initial stun on a target. And it makes also the life of Tracer so much more difficult. I mean, Tracer is one of the heroes on the lineup of the red team that when she gets locked down, she's pretty much dead. So Maka needs to be super careful that he dances around these ults, plays around the cooldowns a bit, or he's gonna be in serious danger in every single fight. For now, we got level 13 on both sides. Temples, of course, soon up again. And that level 13 is a big, big talent for Zagara now, because the pressure was from the beginning on her. And now that we have the spell shield in for Harzobs on his hero, he has a much easier time to deal with, for example, the bombs from Make, but also stage dive and whatever else might come his way. So that's heavily important here too. 15,000 damage, nearly 16k for Tracer. 15,000 for the Haka. Now Zagara is currently doing more siege damage than hero damage, but in those team fights she's going to be able to chip in a bit. Don't forget she died very, very early in the last one, so that wasn't even a real fight that they could take there. But now it's a single temple for each. Yeah, here on Sky Temple, ETC at the top is leading to the fort being destroyed. At the bottom of the map, they make the play. Stage dive. Hazo gets attacked. There's the slide. The immediate cleanse attempt, but Anubarak follows up with it, and Hazo is in deep shit, and he goes down. Breeze, on the other hand, dies too. It's not a good day for Bugs. All of them get eliminated. Whoopi might still be able to get away here. Oh, the dash on Mene as he's saving himself on Tychus. A 4 versus 4 at the bottom of the map. And they are fighting tooth and nail for the position here. But the Hardos are the ones to reclaim control over the temple. And ETC has already yielded the position and is moving towards the top to soak the last remaining shots. Which is a lot, actually. He might not even be able to do all of this. I like that they're attacking the mid lane too, so we have a few of the heroes that are instantly attempting to do some damage here. They're not only relying on the temple, but they might have overstepped slightly. Smexy in particular. There's a blink heal. Nope, there's not a blink heal. Blink heal target. Macke was trying to give him a path to escape, but as pointed out earlier, with all of that CC that we're seeing for the Hardos, they have no problem locking someone down completely. Epicenter is in. Anubarak with Epicenter on level 16. They have the talent advantage, but they are one down. So the Hardos are making the aggressive play to go for the boss regardless. And that might backfire. 4v5, yes or no? Look at Brightwing, another 10 seconds. If they can buy a bit of time, that's all that they really need to do here. They engage into the back line. Hazu and Benny both in trouble. Getting attacked here, but what a stun! Nice! Big boy stun from Uther. And that saves the day for them. If they would have played it just a little bit slower and waited for Brightwing to be in the game, that could have been avoided. But Yasuo just ripped them apart with a fantastic Divine Storm, which likely is going to lead to the boss or not. ETC stage diving in. They're trying to go for Hazu. They get the kill on Zagara. Nani? What? Is this really happening? Everybody's low. Niggas running out of mana. They give the boss up. Oh my god. Chilly Mountain. What a setup. They take the boss and boy did that turn. But here, take another look at that stun that nearly won the entire fight and boss for them. Look at this. Just beautiful. He moves in. Big stun. Hits 3 targets. Hits 3 targets with the Divine Storm. And that allows them to get the double kill. But at the end of the day, it wasn't in vain. Chilly Mountain is the one to move through the bot lane without mana and nearly no HP. Blessed Shield, hello. Wrath is in. Whoopi, can he get out of there? They're trying to open the gate up for him. Brightwing helped out too. Blink heals are up. The gate is open. But the Whoopster is dead. And the Haka takes down Brightwing in the backline. Mene completely lost on the other side of the fight. Now they're going to go for Tracer. That is 4 heroes eliminated. The Hardos might have lost that boss, but boy, did they get mad about it. And they got really angry about that. They were just like, yeah, we're gonna show you how it's done. Now Breeze soaks 5-6 shots out of the mid temple. But this hurts. This is a lot of control that was now lost by the red team, and they're of course going to pay the price. Their top fort has been eliminated, and now in the middle, the keep and the bot keep wall are both getting attacked. Structurally, the Hardos are still slightly behind, but not for long. Especially with Hazorbs and Zagara also doing a bit more damage. This is getting a bit crazy here. I mean, this is getting really crazy. Half a level lead now for the Hardos. Level 19 for them. And yeah, at the bottom of the map, they're all diving for Copenhagen. The Haka is pretty much alone, but not for long. Pop the essence. They need to kill him quickly, or this is going to turn against them. Tychus and Tracer are also on the way now. Cocoon has already been used. Copenhagen. How long does that fucking dinosaur survive? There's Mene, and that puts the end to it. Yeah, Tychus just has too much damage. There's a kill. They try to go for Yasuo. They all remember what happened the last time, but it is a noob. No, yes, with the Maw, he should die. And he does. And Noob is down, but they're still taking damage bot side. Main is dancing around them. Another slide, another hit. Tracer coming in. ETC is dead. The double connect from Nyx Imperius. And they're all getting murdered here. Main wants the kill. And he gets it, but he dies too. The fuck is happening here? Everybody going full on aggression on this one. Mukke tried to turn it on Yasuo. That didn't help either. 14 kills to 7. And now they're, of course, losing more and more ground on the map. The level 20 in the hands of the Hardos as they are going straight over to the right side of the map to take down 1 or even 2 keeps. And only Mukke is there for the defense. And he needs to be careful too. With another 2 seconds on the cooldown of Jojo, Blessed Shield will be up soon again. And then they could lose this one as well. Yeah, it's a bit nuts. It's getting a bit crazy here. They keep in the middle, has been eliminated. The game obviously turned now. Level 20 is very, very close. Oh, and they're just chasing. At this point, they're just chasing. They just want to go for the kills. And honestly, they're going to get this one. They're going to get Yasuo. Yasuo is down. Does he have redemption? Yes, he does. He does have redemption. So they will have to take him down again. That one missed. That one didn't do anything either. Bree is heavily mistiming this one. And Yasuo is going to fall again. Yeah, he's going to die for good here. But as it stands, they're even delaying the kill. They want him to die as late as possible. That's the game plan here. Uther is down, and now they have control for a bit longer. What about the boss? Ah, that's an entire minute. Someone needs to deal with the catapults at the bot lane, or they're going to be in serious danger of losing the bottom keep. Now, at this point, they're of course brawling a little bit too. And as explained, they said from the start, these matches are going to be tough for us because we need more practice as a team. We haven't played for a while. It's summer, a lot of us were on vacation. But already they're doing well against the Hardos. Imagine with a bit more practice. I'm worried about that bot lane. I'm worried about the top lane. Both of them are in trouble, but they're not playing the macro game anymore. Instead, what they're doing here is they're clearly attempting to just go for kills. But thanks to Nick and the Engage, once again, a Noobrak is dead. They got the level 20 and a Noob died 4 times now. Breeze got murdered a bit. Top side, here's the push. They gotta deal with this. And at the bottom of the map, the catapult is now starting to take aim on, or soon, on the keep. So they're looking for another fight. They're just trying to brawl this out as best they can. And they're hoping for kills. This is all they're doing right now. They're just hoping for kills. They're YOLOing completely. Look at this. The death mosh is in. Death metal in the play, but they just can't get anything out of this. So very likely the Hardos are going to walk away with the lead in the best of 3 series. And the Chili Mountain, they're just testing their limits a bit here. They already know that they're far behind, so this is just them testing their limits, trying to coordinate these fights a bit. Up at the top, the keep is already under severe pressure. Down here, the boss is about to be taken, unless Chili Mountain makes a very big play here. Mukke, can he maybe turn something around? Main with a lot of good damage, of course, but that's not really going to do a whole lot for you if there's a 5-man on the point. The Blessed Shield was also thrown out by Benny just to be safe. If anybody would have tried to move in, he would have been hit. Zagara died 5 times, so they successfully attacked her, but Hazu still has 56,000 damage and is therefore the top damage dealer for the team with 73,000 for Mena. Johanna and Imperius both haven't died throughout this entire game. So now we have the pressure through the bottom. Breeze coming in. They came from behind and takes down, at least for the time being, Uther out of the fight. And this is obviously lights out now. Yeah, this is game. With the top being controlled here, this is game one way or another. This is a checkmate. They're still trying to brawl this out a bit. But at this point, the game's over. So we have a 1-0 lead for the Hardos in this semi-final against Chili Mountain, as Sky Temple ends with a kill against a Tracer and a victory for the blue team. The Hardos taking map number 1 in the best of 3.
Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV.
Towers of Doom, map number 2. Let's go. Time for Chili Mountain to turn things around here. Well, if they can, that's of course the big question mark. Can they pull it off? Yes or no? Now, again, if they lose here, it doesn't mean that they're out of this tournament, nor does it mean that they don't have a chance to make it into the playoffs anymore. They would drop down into the third place decider, and if they can at least win that and take third place, that would be a big step towards their goal. They then have a couple of days where they can also practice a bit, scrim a bit, and just try to find that synergy, so that maybe on Wednesday, when we have the final tournament happening, the 10th tournament in this qualifier series, they can go a little bit further and then claim a spot in the playoffs, in the top 8 of the leaderboard. Or, of course, they could turn things around here. You could already tell that in game number 1 at some point they really decided that the only way to win this game was just to go all out, try and get lucky and win a couple of fights. And at some point it evolved into a bit of a clown fiesta where they just said, hey, let's push our limits a little bit and just try and go for some kills and coordinate that. And that's more or less what they did. Didn't really work out though against the Hardos. The blue team is just a bit too experienced and too well trained and practiced for that. But now that we're heading into Towers of Doom, things could of course change. They are starting things off with a global pick, so Whoopi with Dehaka, which is quite nice. But we also have Zagara and Vala both banned out here. And Bad Benny with the quick Garrosh plus Brightwing as a follow-up, so the Fruit Fly is in the house. And how is the red team following this up? They had one big issue in the last game too, and that was the sheer amount of CC that we saw for the Hardos. Especially when you looked over towards Tracer. I mean, she struggled in several situations. With Yasuo coming in with the Divine Storm, I mean, such a good pick for them. Because in that situation, the Divine Shield wouldn't have helped them too much, but the Divine Storm definitely murdered, especially the one in the mid lane around the boss pit that we saw. Mena on Jaina. We got the Frost Lady in the house. Apparently it's also a bit too hot in France. So Mena is bringing in the portable AC. We got Maka on Medivh. And yes, we could see some old school plays. Because right now, that smells a bit like a ley line into a Ring of Frost. Ah, and they ban Stitches. So no Kidnap combo. In case that you don't know what it is, a Kidnap combo is a Stitches with Gorge that escapes through a Medivh portal and creates a lot of distance between the captured target and the rest of the team. So you can get an easy kill, especially of course with a character like Jaina that can come through and provide that burst damage that you need for that. And well, there it is. But with Tigers now banned, Stitches banned, what are we getting for damage on the side of the Hardos? I'm a little bit curious in particular what Nick is gonna pick. Copen, okay, on Hogger. Falstad. Nick on the last pick, that is already slightly dangerous. I can't help myself. Every single time I see Nick in the last pick position, I'm just sitting here, I'm like, oh god, this could be bad. This, on the other hand, that would terrify me if I'm on the Hardo side. Breeze on Diablo is brutal. Just ask Fan. His Tracer got one-shot multiple times, and he stated afterwards that you can't give Breeze Diablo on certain maps. And, oh, Tyrande? You know my opinion about Tyrande. Medivh, I mean, we got a Leyline into Apocalypse, into Ring of Frost. That's the potential combo that we have. That is already 6 city. But a Tyrande, I mean, Tyrande Diablo, again, for the roaming and everything was amazing. But, oh, I'm just always... Tyrande makes... Like, Tyrande is a character I like. I would love to have her back, but she has so many weaknesses that are very obvious that every single time I see her, I have some stomach pain. So I'm just sitting there, I'm like, she could work, but you have to play it nearly perfect. And if she gets attacked or is out of position just once, she just dies. And that always worries me to no end. So can they make it work? We've seen teams make it work. Can they do it though? We'll find out. Deathwing, the last pick for the Hardos. And well, with that, we're heading into game number 2. The semi-final continues. The lead for the Hardos as they go up against Chili Mountain on Towers of Doom. Game number 2, the Hardos with Hazuops on Deathwing, Yasuo on Brightwing. A lot of wings here. We got Nick on the Chicken Wing, Copenhagen on Hogger, and Bad Benny on Garrosh. On the right side of the map, Whoopi with Dehaka. Make to keep everybody safe and sound here and provide a little bit of escape potential. Tirana can capitalize on that a lot. So the combo between the two of them helps a lot. It's much better than running Tirana alone. So Make has some tools in his toolkit that he can use to keep Smexy alive here. Mena on Jaina and Breeze on Diablo. And of course the red team has a whole lot of potential when it comes to level 10 abilities. The amount of synergies we have with heroic abilities from them is pretty incredible. So much combo potential here. Now, to be fair, in theory you also have some potential to screw things up slightly. If that's happening or not, that's a different question, but either way, we're gonna see how this is going to pan out for now, because as the teams start the game up with a little bit of a brawl happening at the beginning, nothing too crazy of course, and now at the bottom of the map, here comes our little 4-man that the two teams are setting up to control the pumpkins in particular. They're gonna spawn in 10 seconds, and then we're gonna see the first few attacks for that. That's the immediate push. Good stun also from Smexy as he is coming in to use that one. Good for him. And at the top, as expected, our 1 versus 1 between Whoopi and Copenhagen. Yeah, down to the bottom of the map. The aggression is still ongoing. Breeze is the one that has to start stacking his baseline so that he has a bigger hit point pool to work with, which is exactly what they're going to try here. Mena on the money pick, sitting in the mid lane. Hardos, terror. Going for the Molten Flame. Full on barbecue style. That's actually one thing that I miss a little bit in Spain. I mean, I'm talking a lot about how I really, really like Spain, how Spain is amazing, how I love living here in Valencia, how the food is great, people are nice, living costs are awesome, for cycling it's a paradise that a lot of people don't even know about. Everybody's always talking about Alicante. But one thing that I miss are just like, you know, the good old German style barbecues. That's something that they just don't have here, at least not to the same extent. And it's a little bit weird. I'm not trying to say that Spain doesn't have any barbecues at all, but these normal German barbecues that you have in the summertime, they don't exist here in the same way. And that's something I miss a little bit. It was always kind of nice to hang out with the family and friends, a couple of cold ones. And yeah, in this case, they're hanging out at the bot lane. And that's a lot of damage already. And I want to say Hazu is trying to go for the kill here. Here comes the Haka. Trying to lick the dragon. That's not really working. That would be a nice one. Can you imagine that? The Haka attaches the tongue to Deathwing and just gets dragged away himself. Then again, he can drag Odin, right? So there's that. That also looks like a setup that should not work, but somehow does. 28 stacks for Make. Medivh is really putting some early game hits in. 28 after 2 minutes and 50? That's insane. That's actually very, very good. If he can keep that up. By the way, here we got the Hoggers Joggers. And we also got the On the Prowl. So a bit of a deviation on the Hogger build. 21 stacks, talking about stacks, on the Birdie. So there's actually a lot going on. Like, both of the teams are doing a great job on that. Now, it seems like we're going to see a 2-for-1 in favor of the blue team. That's one of the things that I love to Tirana for, just these constant interrupts that she can throw out. The vision that she provides, the interrupts that are coming, but the end result is the same. It delays it, but the 4 additional shots are still fired by the Hardos. So they have the early opening here. And with that, we now have Make moving in too. And yeah, here's the hit. Trying to make the play for Breeze again, but our boy Medivh was ready for it. And Medivh is sitting at 31 now. If this continues, Medivh is going to complete this quest in record time. And Make can then play way more aggressive. 34, 35, he gets the hits together. Harzops is a bit low too. And yeah, with the portal, they might have thought about re-engaging and chasing them down, but they decided against it since Mena had to go back for mana and hit points. Problematic is that Hogger was all alone up at the top during all that time, and therefore could take down the wall. Now, Medivh with the 35 will complete it. Breeze, of course, as the game continues, also has a few additional stacks on his baseline, which increases his hit point pool. Makes it very, very neat for him. Deathwing attempting to help out a bit on top of that. Experience still fairly even, no kills yet. It's more of a passive approach into the game than what we've seen before. But, well, there's Benny making the play for Make. Make, you don't want it. No! No! 37 and he gets away! Marke gets away with 37 stacks. He's at 39 now. He nearly misclicked the portal. Did you see that? He clicked around the portal and he nearly didn't make it. Oh, he must be so happy right now. Just sitting there and being like, oh my god. Yeah, hopes for the 40, of course. But it's the curse of every Medivh player out there that once that you hit the 30 plus stacks, you are likely go down. They had him surrounded. They had him surrounded and pushed into a corner. They could have gotten that for sure. Now Hardos is channeling. 4 shots in. The Haka is at the top, and there's the quest completed. Marke with a sigh of relief at this point. Just happy to be alive, to complete the quest. And now they can start to really get their combo together with level 10. It's of course one of the things that they are hoping for here. The level 10 abilities, the big combos around heroics that they can use to win these team fights. That's where they need mana in the fight, where they need of course the ley line into the apocalypse, and then they're gonna turn it. And so far they haven't really lost a whole lot of ground, so that's good for them. Hoga with a Shockwave, he's one of the few that can, by the way, destroy these plays. Well, he's not the only one. We got Shockwave and we got also the Mighty Gust. So that's 2 big tools in on the side of the Hardos that they can use to ruin that setup. Because now we got the Ring of Frost, we got the ley line, and we got the Apocalypse. That's a lot. You just need the good engage for that. But Nick could ruin it, others could ruin it as well. Look at Brightwing. Went into Emerald Wind. So the entire level 10 setup from the Hardos is designed around the idea of interrupting the attempt of Chili Mountain to get good wombo combos off. That's all that they're trying to do with this. And for good reason. If you can deny that, you are in a great spot. Same time now. Benny moving in again. They're trying to go for the kill on Diablo, but Breeze makes it out. The ley line is in. Apocalypse, and the timing wasn't really perfect here. They got some damage out of it, but by no means enough to go for the full-on kill. So, good first attempt, but not good enough. Couldn't get the kill. Top side still gets pressured. Pumpkins making their way in. The little Junkrats over here, at least according to the sounds they make. And yeah, well, Breeze in the mid lane. Probably if you're banking all of your hopes on a combo like this, the issues you have are simply that when you don't get real damage out, when you don't get a kill, it's a huge cooldown to play around with. Now the interrupt might be a bit too late. No, nice, delays him even further. Wooby also with the with the channel attempt, but the interrupt thanks to Deathwing. Deathwing is of course also super annoying when it comes to interrupting anybody on a channel. That is one of the big assets for him too. It's not only Tirana that can piss people off with that. And now that Hoga is joining the top battle over the altar, they can try to delay this even further. Deathwing jumped in. Then again, Brightwing is moving in to make the play against Breeze happen. And they are trying to isolate him, but the portal is there, the ley line. This time, no APOC follow-up, was still on cooldown here. They go for Whoopi, but Mene with a play. A fantastic save at the same time. Garrosh at least ensuring that he's the only one that dies, but now they're in full chase mode. They want to chase, they got the APOC, it didn't connect with anybody though. And they are zoning them away. But what a fantastic play. Look at this. Mene coming in, locking them down in the choke point, and then they get the hit in. But still, kudos to Bad Benny. He ensured that he was the only one in that fight to fall. Could have at least been 2 or 3 kills. So it was a nice move. In total, it's an 8-point play as they channel the altar and they take the boss. So they're dropping the opponent down to 28 points. Still the lead for the Hardos, of course. So that's not too bad. And for now, at least, it's very even experience. We got the level 13 with the Icy Veins now. Mena also with this Jaina build went on level 1 into the Fingers of Frost. We got the Frost charts in and the Icelands. So, yeah, setting all of that up. The bottom of the map. The cool thing about having a Jaina on your team is, of course, also that you have a lot of wave clear. So, you have the wave clear available and a very nice camp clear, too. She can pretty much solo a camp at this point very, very easily. Whoopi, nice. The isolation hit. There's the drag. Can they go for the point? They can't. With Brightwing moving in and the rest of the team, it goes to the Hardos. Yeah, they used a lot of their globals to make that a good fight. Mini Deathwing. Okay, that looked awesome. The mini chicken, I like it. Tyrande comes through and exposes Deathwing. Ah, but Benny with another flip. Could have been a problem for Hogger, but Benny with a great play here once more. Mena doesn't make the engage yet. Again, he has the wave clear, but as long as the birdie is around, you don't want to make that play. Problem for him is that his baseline quest isn't stacked as much as he probably would like. Once that you have the ice barrier, you're in a much better position. Damage output, 14,000 for Medivh. Yeah, now that Maki can play a bit more aggressively. He definitely does. Breeze with a portal once more. Deathwing moves in. The control of the Hardos is just nice. But it's a kill versus a kill. We don't have a kill-heavy game here. It's a little bit reminiscent of what we've seen in HGC times. Maybe not quite honed to the same perfection right now. But in terms of how controlled the teams are playing, you don't know how careful they are to not end up in a fight they can't win. It reminds me a bit of those times. 1 kill, 4 kill, slightly inexperienced, super close. The Haka waiting in the wings, trying to get the drag, trying to get the connect. They go for the APOC, it's there. Ring of Frost, and Yazoo is alive. Benny again with the save. Time and time again, Benny is able to make these saves happen. It is crazy. It was such a good setup. The stun from Tyrande came out too, but Benny, no fucks given, is always there for the team. Saved Brightwing, now the Emerald Wind. What an engage again. Damn, son. What a fight. Not a single player goes down in the battle between the two teams. Breeze gets interrupted. But boy, what a play. And it's not over. They're going for it again. Make has to move out a bit. He's low. Deathwing moves into Hazu, nearly on full HP again, but he drops quickly. They isolate the Haka a bit, and he might... Does he have a global? No, he's Hearthstoning out. They're giving this up again, don't they? The attempt at an interrupt. Hazu with a channel. They're playing it slow. They have everybody still around. The Haka could global in, and does. He moves in. There's Make. They're making the play with another drag attempt. The isolation on Falsa. That's a good start. Azu is low. Make wants him. Sets the portal up, and he gets him. Medivh against Dragon, and he takes it. What a fight. This is beautiful. This is just absolutely amazing. Fight after fight. The top bell tower, though. No, the timing on it. Only 3 shots for the red team, and they are still chasing. Here comes the portal, baby. Emerald Wind, the ley line to the face, and there it is. The move for Brightwing, and Yasu dodges out on it, but they are still going for him. Brightwing is dead. Oh my god. Guys, a quick look at the last fight. Let's take a quick look at that last battle, as Deathwing is starting to take the bottom here too. Look at this one. That one was just beautiful. So here comes the play. They're going for the APOC. The Ring of Frost, the stun, and then Bad Benny with the save. Time and time again, it's Benny who saves his teammates in these encounters. 16 versus 16 on the second map here, and it's a beautiful one. Look at the stacks that we have on Falstad, by the way. He's sitting at 71. Mena is nearly done with his baseline. I talked earlier about how important it is to get that quest completed so that you have your ice block. And once he has it, there is, of course, a huge possibility for him to survive through a gank if he times it properly. Another play at the bottom of the map now. 3 kills to 1. Chili Mountain ahead in kills. But who gives a shit when you can't win the game itself? 25 points to 20. The Hardos ahead a bit in that regard. And now with the Pumpkins at the top, Whoopi is the one to try and take them down here. Bottom bell tower is claimed too. Massive amount of control now by the Hardos. They control 6 bell towers. And newsflash, we have a triple altar phase coming up. Triple altar phase for them. They're retaking the top, but that still puts them into a 5 versus 3 situation, and that just hurts. Falstad takes the bottom. Will be able to do that. Tyrande should interrupt once, but doesn't. And now, of course, they want to go for the double here at the top at least. Can they, though? That's the question. They can take the right side unless Deathwing interrupts. Nope. 3 shots fired. The engage on Benny. Flips it over. At least tries to. Uh-oh. Benny. Quest completed by Mene. Great for him. Benny survives. Close call though. But Benny was able to make it. 22 to 18 points now. Hazu again getting attacked here. Wall stun potential. But it is Garrosh who's there to save the target. Deathwing, he might be in trouble now. He's not the only one. The stun doesn't connect and Deathwing is dead. Ring of Frost. Stay frosty, baby. They go for follow-up and they get it. Hogga is down. The double kill. Nick gets attacked. There's the portal. They try the portal control. They can't. And another 3 shots get fired. 6 shots in total against 5. 19 to 15 now. Slowly but steadily, Chili Mountain is inching their way to a draw in core points and a potential advantage in game number 2 of the series. It's incredible. They go for the boss. They take it. The shots are fired, and now we have them dead even on the core. And in experience, it's a very different story, because in experience, it's an entire level lead that we're talking about now. Indomitable saves Benny once again. 83 stacks now for Falstad, which leads to him being the top damage dealer in the game at 44,000. They're dragged by Whoopi! Whoopi! He's able to set this up. The kill for the red team. Chili Mountain with a staggered death against the Hardos. And now they are taking the map control. Yeah, nearly level 20 for them. Looking spicy over here. We have 39,000 for Jaina in terms of damage. Turana didn't die yet, by the way. Turana did not die. They're keeping her safe. They're doing their best. Now the level 20 talents are in, and we get Cold Snap. Cooldown reduction. That's what we're aiming for here. And also Medivh cheats. I mean, we knew that already, but Blizzard had to spell it out on the level 20 to show just everybody what's really going on here. On top of that, we have the Hellgate, and it's looking really, really good for Chili Mountain now. Maybe not necessarily to win the game right away, but at least to take a lead, because that bottom bell tower, sorry, the altar, should be claimed by them, considering that they have level 20 talents and the Hardos don't. Blue team very likely is going to let that one go. Probably Deathwing is going to attempt to interrupt if they can get people in position. Maybe set Nick up to get some connected, but yeah, there it starts. So Deathwing is already in. Was already starting to interrupt that. Smexy is attempting to help out right away. They go for the double channel here, and that should be a successful channel eventually. There it is. So they have 4 shots fired, and that puts the blue team down to 11 points. But they are going to pick up that level 20 talent. And there is no additional bell tower control for Chili Mountain. They haven't gotten anything else yet. So we'll see. Smexy's playing it so safe. Hit comes in. Look at the blue team. They're waiting for the experience to come to them. The whole idea is like, don't step out. If that portal out of nowhere appears next to you, you know you're dead. And there we have level 20 for them with the anger management, the wind tunnel. The Haka at the top already moving it out. Brightwing has gone into the intensive winds. Always sounds to me like Brightwing is farting a lot. I mean, if you honestly think about it, there are a ton of talents in the game that just sound like Blizzard is making fart jokes. Think about Zamuro just for a second. I mean, he has so many talents in that line that I'm really worried sometimes a bit on what exactly has been going on there. I mean, I don't know what kind of frat party was happening when Blizzard decided on those talent names, but I would be surprised if there wasn't a bit of weed or alcohol involved in some of the decision making here. But again, Brightwing with the intensifying winds here. We now got, talking about them, we have at the top already a bit of a play happening. And they want to go for Yasuo, but they can't get that kill. It is a lot of damage on the bell tower though, and Brightwing alone is not going to be able to deal with that. But since the next 2 altars are already happening bot lane in a few more seconds, they have to fall back. At least everybody with the exception of the Haka, who can of course global in. And now they have to play around this. And if the Haka can make a play at the top, that would be kind of neat. Especially, nope, they're going to go for a kill attempt, I suppose. Yeah, the Haka is moving in at the bot side. Medivh, Marker, the portal, isolation, contagion, it's all out. Ring and ding, but they couldn't get the connect. There's the APOC, and this time they have a bit more luck with it. That connected, and the wall stunned by Breeze. Beautiful, but the wind tunnel gets used. Where the winds are out again, and they are just everywhere. Everybody goes full on ult at this point. Arrgh, as they're hitting the buttons. Another wall stun. Hellgate into wall stun, but once more it's Brightwing. They are just going bonkers in this fight. Everybody just denying plays, trying to go for a new one. That's the end of the Haka. Well done by the Hardos, and they are retaking the lead in the game, aren't they? 11 to 15 points now, 2 altars on the map. It's a 5 versus 4. Breeze has been trying to one-shot people throughout the entire engage, but now he finds himself on the receiving end of a beating. With the Emerald wins, he gets isolated for a second, but Medivh is ready with a portal to help him out here. The Haka down for another 40 seconds, and Nick is not finishing the channel. No, they have to interrupt it again. The birdie with 96 stacks now. And look at this. Every time that Breeze goes deep, it's Brightwing who moves in and shuts the play down. Marker, and he dies. The mighty gust is happening. No chance to enter the portal. He goes down, and now they have to fall back. They can interrupt it a bit more. The Haka will be back soon, but since they are still 4v5, once that the Haka re-enters the game, they won't be able to do much here. 4 more shots get fired, and now they are likely dropping down into the single digits. Hazu has another interrupt attempt, but this time it's not working. It's a bit too late. Bam, the shots are fired. 7 points to 11, and they go for the boss. They try for boss as the blue team goes for the bottom bell tower. They know they can't defend it, but they have to take these pumpkins down. But at least the boss is claimed, and that's a big hit. So now 7 points to 7. It's getting crazier. Do they just let it happen? Yeah, they are. They're saying 4 points. Fuck it, let's go. They're letting the shots happen. 4 points to 7, but they take the top bell tower. So it's a 4 versus 4 bell tower situation. They cannot lose a single altar now. Whoopi, what is he gonna do? Diablo gets attacked. That is the gust. And that's a dead Breezy. He's going for the APOC. Yes, Diablo is down. Marke came too late. The Hardos with a fantastic hit. That was such an important one. By the way, talking about shots fired, there's a few more. 3 more in the core. Guys, we're down to 4 points on each side. The next altar decides the game. The next altar decides the game. Diablo is back, but he needs stacks. He doesn't have a lot. He was, of course, fully stacked on the baseline. What a game! Do we get game 3? Yes or no? That's the question. Belta on the mid lane has been eliminated. Single altar coming up in 24 seconds. They're retaking the bot lane, or at least they're trying to. And they could get it! Whoopi! What are you doing? Not like this! Can he get into it? Yes, the portal! He saved the ley line! They go for Hazu! They retook it! The all-time 5! This is the fight! Whoopi is heading back saying, guys, I'm gonna get some additional hit points. I can global in anyways. And they have to. Hello! There's the first interrupt. Okay. Whew. Bullet dodged. 4 altars to 4. 4 bell towers to 4. Guys, this is it. The game is insane at this point. They try for Smexy. They try for Breeze. Channel attempt by Copenhagen again. Whoopi tried it too. Deathwing touching ground once more. This is the fight. This is the battle. Whoever wins the altar wins the game. They go for Benny. Benny, the stun doesn't connect. The drag does. The Ring of Frost. No, it doesn't connect. Whoopi is on the run. Everybody's low. Well, not everybody's low, but at least Hazu and Whoopi are. And now they're chasing him. Yes, the contagion! Whoopi, you fucking monster! You fucking monster! Oh my god, Benny, they are all so low! Hazu! 80 hit points! Benny on the run! What is happening here? How is this even possible? They go for Yasu and the game is over! They got the channel in the meantime! We go to game number 3! Alright. Game 3, Infernal Shrines. I gotta admit that towards the end of the second game, I didn't even realize that anybody was channeling the damn altar. That fight just didn't stop. They chased them through the choke point, they tried to come back in, everybody was fighting, nobody was dying, they blew all the ults, the cooldowns, and then as finally there were a few people that went down, I didn't even realize that someone had already used the opportunity of all that space that was created to come in and channel it. But that game really gave me HTC vibes. Now, obviously, it's not played on the same skill level. I mean, that's a given. You don't have any players that can make a full-time living out of simply playing Heroes of the Storm anymore, so they're not playing and practicing 8 hours a day, which we had back in the days of HGC, where teams had like scrim blocks of 4 hours, two times each day at least. But it was still pretty impressive, especially how they approached the game and just played it real slow and very, very cautious. Now we're heading into Infernal Shrines, the map that will decide which team moves on to the grand final, and it would of course be a big step for Chili Mountain to make that happen here, because they want to qualify for the playoffs. Now, we have Diablo banned out, and that doesn't come as a surprise at all. With all the work that Yasuo put in on Brightwing to shut Diablo down whenever he engaged, it was still insane how Breeze threatened kills against the backline and even the frontline heroes. So it doesn't shock me that they don't even ban out Zagara first, but they're just looking at this and they're like, yeah, Diablo, ain't happening. I talked about it in the draft. In the draft for game number 2, I already referenced Fan, what he said back in the day, but boy. Vala is the first pick here. We got the Cowgirl in on Infernal Shrines. Again, obviously fantastic with the multi-shot build, going up straight against the Shrines, taking some of those minions down. But the big question, how is Chili Mountain approaching this? And are we seeing a main Kelthas? Was called out earlier already. And this is the map to go for. If you want to go for Kelthas in any of these games, this is the one. They're already blazing it up a little bit with Wooby, and Stukov gets played by Smexy. Okay. Yeah, this is pretty awesome. And by the way, everybody that is getting excited right now looking at the red team's lineup saying like, oh my god, Fnatic is back, they just changed their name. They will play in the next qualifier, very likely. They're going to try to make it happen and qualify for the playoffs. So we're going to see a lot more action with all of it. Leo is in and Brightwing once again. Alright. Yeah, this is actually... The Brightwing that we're seeing from Yasuo was really terrifying in the last one. Now, they have a lot of wave clear. They have Leo for the rotation between the top and the mid lane. They have Vala for the team fights, and also with all of the AoE that she can put in. As the bans come out, what do they ban? Tank? Imperious. They got a bit murdered on Sky Temple with all of the stuns that were available for the Hardos. Now, you gotta of course ask yourself, what is the damage dealer gonna be for Mena? Is it Kelthas, yes or no? And what does Breeze play here? I mean, technically you could really think about, let's say, a Nuburak again, plus Stukov and Blaze as follow-ups, but that's a totally different playstyle than what they used before. Medivh gets banned out after the last game, I can't blame them. But yeah, Breeze's pick is going to tell us a lot. Now, if you want to go for that aggressive engage, you can play a Nuburak here. You have good follow-ups behind him. You want to have a bit more burst damage, of course, if you want to play that, so that you can take the target down quickly. But it also makes things a bit squishy at times. Muradin. Muradin is a good option. And we get him! There we go! Ashalanore, Salami! Mr. Kelthas himself! The Salami lover, he's in. Love it. Yeah, the cool thing about Kelthas is, of course, that he provides you with another CC. Doesn't have the best escape tools, but the Gravity Lapse as a follow-up on any kind of stun was great. Now, there's a JoJo pick, and Hazu with the Slug. Lately, they're going a bit more into the snail game, and now they're doing the same thing too. So, Brightwing Abathar, that already is annoying, and for JoJo, it's also great. Leo can chase targets down with an Abathar symbiote very easily too. Adds additional damage, so whenever he goes into the backline, that's already an issue. Yeah, that leaves us with Make. Oh, the Vikings on Infernal Shrines. Alright, baby, someone is lost. Game number 3, and they go Vikings against Abathur. We've seen the Sergeant Hammer against Abathur, but they go for the Viking play here. Whoopi on the Vikings. I'm a fan already. That game is going to be good no matter what. Game number 3, Chili Mountain against the Hardos. The third game, and it is brilliant already. Just the draft alone makes me happy. I don't know what to tell you here. Hazu Ops on Abathur, the slugger in the house to slap and clap. We got Yazu on Brightwing Copenhagen, and Leoric, Nick on Vala, and Bad Benny on Jojo. On the right side of the map, Mack on Blaze, Whoopi on the Lost Vikings. That alone gets a round of applause. We got Breeze on Mirrodin, Mena on Kelthas, and Smexy on Stukov. Now again, guys, if you're watching all of this on YouTube and you haven't hit that like button yet, then what the fuck is wrong with you, first of all? And second of all, make sure that you smash that thing, because if ever a series in the last couple of weeks deserved that, then it's this one. And of course, if you really love the video and the commentary, you can always hit the cheer function under the video player. But either way, as this continues to pop off, the question has to be answered. Are they making it into the semi? And they're starting it off with a kill. They get the first kill of the game. All right. All right. Insanity. Yeah, and Whoopi, of course, in the Vikings, that's a very, very different style than what he played in the last game. And I know we're already in game number 3, but guys, let me show you just real quickly the play that pretty much decided the last game, or was a huge part. Whoopi caught on Towers of Doom, and we are going to take another look at it after this gank, because they are going for another one here in the early game. They go for Nick, he takes a little bit of a beating, but Vala also uses the opportunity for more stacks. But yeah, here's the play. Check this one out. Look at Whoopi. Look at Whoopi on the last map with the Haka. As he tries to escape, they attempt to chase him. Bam! Immediately, isolation, the contagion is in, and that helped them to set everything up in that choke point and make the play. Talking about making plays, Johanna taken down for the second time now. Bad Benny turns into Dead Benny, as we have our third map starting with a bang. Absolutely fantastic. Really, really loving this one. That's a great start. So now, by the way, level 1, we got the explosive attacks for even more wave clear on Balog. We got the third wind kicking in too. Balog, of course, in this case, gets the mace to the face, the Abathur treatment. But still, they have a small lead in experience. 2 kills to 0, a little bit of map control. And they're going to try and pull that one off. In the sense that in the early game, Abathur is a bit of a liar. Well, not necessarily is, but he can be a bit of a liability. He can, of course, also be a huge asset, especially in the solo lane. It's not like he doesn't add anything, but there is a huge advantage if you're going for big team fights for the team that goes up against Abathur, simply because he doesn't have a hit point pool in the game at this point. And now they're doing extremely well, providing vision for those Khazras as they steal the camp away to take the fountain down. And that's a very big advantage heading into objective number 1. Also on the level 4 abilities, the Reverberation is kicking in. We currently have Netherwind on level 4. And yeah, this is looking fairly good here. Now, Nick and Yazu at the top are trying to go for the camp, and I don't really see... Are we seeing an evade? Nah. They are not going for it. Okay, for a second it looked like they're trying to go for the camp. And that... I mean, again, if you win that one, it's amazing. But if you lose that fight and then the camp pushes against you, you're losing the objective, all of a sudden you're too far behind. So, not really the best risk-reward setup. And therefore, yeah, you gotta be careful here. But either way, now that Abathur is taking at the bot lane and slapping it out already, we have the plays straight in the middle. So, for now, a lead by 20-4 on the side of Chili Mountain. And an objective right now for Chili Mountain would go very far for them, because the Hardos, again, don't have a 5th body in the game, and that's an issue. At least not in the fights. Abathur is at least trying to hold the bot lane experience here for the team, and Whoopi could sniff that out at some point. But as you can tell, level 7 abilities are much faster for the red team, and that gives them a huge advantage heading into that team fight now. But Whoopi is a little bit low, sorry, Mack is a bit low, and might be in slight trouble, eats more damage, but the Slugger is down, as expected at the bot lane. I talked about it a second ago. He sniffed it out, Abathur is down, Leoric is down, and now Jojo dies. Guys, that's 5 kills to 0. They take the Frozen Punisher though. That's a bit of a meme. They lose 3 heroes, but with the last hit that we're seeing from Vala, they lock in the minions so that they at least take the objective. If that wouldn't have happened here, they could have kissed the fort in the mid lane goodbye for sure, and they might have lost even more. But now, at least they are getting something out of it. Now, Balo gets attacked, but that's not the only hero that gets attacked in the game. Brightwing is also chased down, and that leads to another kill. Well, that's a lot of damage done by Chili Mountains. Sorry, by the Hardos Punisher. So good for them that they at least got that. But boy, that is problematic. Because now we're looking at an entire level lead, 6 kills to 0. And yeah, top side, Copenhagen. He already pushed this out too. So it's a little bit of a weird one, because now we have, with Mule, the opportunities to repair all of the structures here by the Hardos. They lost, of course, a bit of ground, especially in the mid lane with the fountain, but at the same time, they did damage to the fort in the middle of the map, and also were active at the top lane. So, structurally speaking, they have a bit of an advantage, but they're far behind in experience. And they haven't gotten a single kill yet. So, that's a bit of a problem. Now, we have our play for the next camp, initiated by Chili Mountain. And at the top of the map, Wubi is still doing a decent job against Copenhagen, who gets continuous support also from Abathur, so that Symbiote is never far away. Haymaker, by the way. What the fuck? Haymaker and Combustion? Okay. They're really going for it in this one, aren't they? Not what I expected, especially since we get the Flailing Swipe too. This is becoming really interesting. Combustion is a pretty big meme, honestly. Using that in the 3rd game of a series? Alright, show me what you got, Mucker. That wasn't what I expected here at all, not even a little bit. Haymaker, also a surprise, but that at least at times has value. But they are really, really going for big plays here. I mean, that's big risk reward. If they make that work somehow, especially if you're going up against Leo, I mean, how often have you seen an Entomb that gets completely negated by a good bunker? That happens so many times, and in this case, they just said, nah, don't need that.
Nope.
Not needed. So let's go for the Combustion instead. Now, if you want to talk a little bit about the talent and what it can do, you have at least in the big stacked 5 versus 5 fights on the Shrine some value to it, of course. But time will tell how much they can get out of this. It's an interesting choice either way. Not something that you usually see. Honestly, I can't even remember when I've seen a Blaze with Combustion on this level of play the last time. No idea. But anyways, that is a Haymaker, and that's maybe a kill. Vala trying to get out, but they didn't get it. So it was a nice attempt and a nice idea, but if you don't lock the kill in, you just used some of your rogue abilities and it didn't do a whole lot for you. And instead, Main is getting attacked now. Oh, good save. That was a really good save. But there's the Entomb. Combustion was used. Bad Benny. Oh, Marker low as well. Benny low. Everybody's low. But it's Leo that dies. Sorry. Activates his trait value. Yeah, so Leo with the trait activated. 7 kills to 1, regardless. Only one that has died so far on the red team side are the Vikings, of course. So we didn't see a full hero kill yet. But the camp is taken, only on one side, moving through the top, and they take the earlier position on this. It's a couple of nice stacks to their name, but of course, as we've seen previously, that doesn't mean a whole lot. What is more important is that they are about to lock in another talent, and there it is, level 13 is ready. Virulent Reaction, super important. More damage for Breeze, by the way, as they're going for the Thunderstrike. And we got the Pyromaniac. So this is, with 25 to 0 points on the objective, a very, very nice move by Chili Mountain. Level lead, talent advantage, decent map control with the Vikings. Maybe not a whole lot at the bottom of the map, but we'll soon get another Viking down here for sure. And they can focus onto the top lane in the meantime. 19 stacks also for Mere, which is of course nice, because now he's going to have his shield in just another second. Yep, there it is. So has his 21 stacks together. A lot more survivability for him now. And down here, Leo is doing some work, but Wubi now has a Viking in place so that they can get all of the experience. And talking about the experience, while we see the topside push, here's a bit of a breakdown on how the experience gain looks like so far. The Vikings, of course, doing a whole lot of work with this. Level 13 is in. Topside gets attacked. The jump on Hazu with a copy. the Vala copy. Breeze missing the Stormbolt, but they want that fort and they should get it. But there's the Entomb and the counterplay attempt with Combustion. Marcus sliding out with 300 HP. The fort is toast, and at the bottom of the map, we have the Vikings going for the next camp. 7 kills, 2-1. Level lead for Chili Mountain. Are they really pulling it off? I can't even tell you how far, like, honestly, think about it for a second. The 8th place in the leaderboard right now are the Donuts, pretty much. Team Ash and the Donuts, they are tied at 8 points and on 8th place. And both of them, I mean, the Donuts are pretty much taking that spot as it is because Team Ash in that form doesn't exist right now anymore. So you have the Donuts on 8th place with 8 points. If you take 2nd in the tournament here, then you get 7 points, so you pretty much have it already. And the way that they are just manhandling JoJo time and time again, it's absolutely impressive. And very likely that they are snowballing this further and further as the game continues and the death timers are rising. So that's a huge advantage. Leo, of course, is trying to counter pressure the top and eventually will take down that fort. But Chili Mountain would set themselves up with simply participating in the grand final in a way that it should easily be possible for them to participate in the playoffs. And making that happen against teams like the Hardos and Team Wa with only participating in 1 or 2 qualifiers is insanity. So this team is so terrifying. It's crazy. First tournament. This is the 9th qualifier for the X Cup Summer. The first tournament that they participate in, and they are on their way to the semi-final. Now, they aren't there yet, but they have a level lead. They have an extra talent. They took 2 of the forts down. And while Leo has at least done some damage to the top lane and destroyed 1 too, having level 16 now with the Largen in charge is terrifying. We got Ignite, Largen in charge, the Dwarf launch, and if you're going into any kind of build that centers around Haymaker, having that level 16 talent is going to allow you to make way more plays. So for Nick in particular, on Vala, this is insanely scary. He needs... Yeah, exactly. Here we go. That's exactly why. Stun, 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 and he still survives. All right. There's good damage with the Combustion. Breeze goes down. But yeah, nice attempt, but it didn't really work out. With all the stuns that they had, Brightwing was there immediately, and now 2 of them are dead. 2 are down. Smexy is also gonna fall. It was a nice attempt. It was a fun play. But they got punished for it hard. And everything right there. Maybe not targeted damage properly. That could have been a kill. But Vala obviously also has her level 13, which helps now. If you have Gloom, that extra spell armor that you have, especially if you're fully stacked on Hatred, is fantastic for you. And that was the ticket back into the game for the Hardos. So the Hardos are all of a sudden nearly in experience range, and they are working towards the objective. Another stun, another follow-up, and this time they're not going that deep. Okay. This time they're not going that deep for it. But you can tell that Olaf's stun is being used as a strong initiation tool against Vala, and that Nick is under pressure. But as long as he has his Hatred stacks up and pops Gloom, they should be okay in a lot of these situations. We'll see how much they can do now, because, well, for now they're trying to go for Copenhagen, and that could be a kill. Abathar is helping out, as he did in the last fight, of course. 28 stacks and a camp at the top lane. That's a very good position for the Hardos. Red team is, of course, attempting to negate that advantage as best they can. But there it is. The play. Oh, Marke. He didn't get a lot out of the ult. He gets a lot out of the stun on the other hand. Oh, beauty! That's a kill against Brightwing. Trashwing is down. Beautiful hit. Combustion didn't do a lot for him, but boy, that jet propulsion was amazing. And now they have JoJo pinned down in the corner again. Benny, with the help of Abathar, gets out, and they even get the Vikings eliminated. All of them, I mean. And of course, now the fight over the Arcane Punisher is still going strong. And the problem is that the top keep is getting attacked now. Top keep is in real trouble. And look at Vala. Vala is murdering them. They don't have a lot of sustain. Breeze doesn't have Avatar or anything. Here's the Punisher, and with the help of the Punisher, they should be able to get a play against Nick, and he makes it out. Leo died, though. Leo died, and the bad news is that the keep is not going to make it either. Nobody is going to be able to save that keep. So yeah, that is definitely not happening. The attempt to go for Nick as Vala is trying to escape, that didn't really work. But what the Chili Mountain team has to do now is they need to take that bot keep down. they need to at least respond in kind. They lost their own keep at the top, so you want to take the keep at the bot lane down too. As long as Leo is dead, you have an advantage in numbers, and you need to play around that. I don't think they can go core here. I think that would be a bit of a suicidal move, honestly. Maybe, I mean, they seem to try. You can maybe do a little bit of damage, but getting a kill is necessary if you want to end the game here. There's just no way. Can they seriously do that without even the Vikings being present? I think I honestly think that sticking around here is a mistake. If they lose a hero or two on the way out, they're in trouble. And Copenhagen has his Entomb, and there it is. Turnaround attempt with Combustion. Marker, they take the copy down. Core, by the way, no shields. The Vikings are focusing on the map in the meantime, taking more of the camps. And Whoopi with the slingshot is making sure that they want to get some points on the core at least. And they have level 20. That changes the things. That changes the equation quickly. With level 20, they can poke it down a bit, and they do. Vikings can always, of course, ult in. 35,000 damage now by Mene. Look at the damage output from Vala, though. 64,000. Not that it helps them here in this situation. The problem is that Abathar has Mule. If you don't end it here, Mule will heal it up. It already does. It repairs the core as we speak. And they're realizing it as well. They're still dancing around, hoping for someone to overstep so that they can turn it and take a target down. Maybe Benny. But Vala is there right away to help out with a bit of cover thanks to her ult. But boy, 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 is that a game again. Yeah. And the core is still falling slowly. Half a level to 20. This is nasty. There's so much looking for that kill. Stormbolt, stun, Vala! This is it! This is it! The kill! The double kill! They take it! The copy on Leo. Leo is down. They make it happen. What the fuck? They did it. They did it. Vala steps out just one time, a little bit too much, and goes down. Maka dies too, but this is game. Mene with the damage, and Chili Mountain takes down the Hardos in the semi-final and moves on to the grand final of the tournament. What the fuck? That was amazing.